guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole if you're new here, and I make all kinds of vegan recipe videos and what I eat in a day videos. And today I'm trying something a little bit different, and I'm going to be doing a cook with me video. So I have two recipes that I've been wanting to try for a few days now, and today I have the time to do it. So I thought we could kind of do it together. And then I'm also going to be making one big giant bakery style cookie. So you know when you go to a bakery and you get one of those really epic, amazing, big cookies? It's basically that, but you don't have to make a whole tray of them. It just is enough for one. I found it on a blog that I will link down below, but I'm so excited to try it, so let's get started. So I've been trying to really make the most of what I have on hand so that I don't have to run to the store too often. And what I had today was some Swiss chard that I wanted to use up because it was going a little bit soft. And I also had some onion from the other night when I was making dinner. And I had one of these pre-cooked rice packs that I don't normally buy, but I happen to have on hand. And I figured it would be a fun day to try this. So I'm making crispy rice with sautéed greens. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of oil to the pan. I like coconut oil when I'm making greens. And then I'm gonna let it get hot. You always wanna make sure that your pan is nice and hot before you add anything. So this is on medium-high. Okay, that's hot enough. I can't wait any longer. So I'm gonna saute the greens and the onions first so that they're ready to go when the crispy rice is nice and hot. But I wanted to show you what spices I'm gonna be using on the vegetables because this combination I have found is an absolute game changer. And you can really use any spices you like or no spices, just salt and pepper would be good, or some garlic, whatever you have on hand will work. So get creative, but I'm gonna do something kind of Italian today, and I love, love, love sauteing greens in fennel. Fennel was one of those weird ingredients that I didn't really use very much, and then now I'm obsessed with it. So it's one of the main spices in sausage. So if you guys like the flavors of sausage, like a nice savory Italian sausage, a lot of that flavor comes from fennel and from garlic. So I like to use that when I'm making leafy greens, and I feel like it just makes the best, most savory Italian combination ever. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm also gonna add in the stems right now because they take a little bit longer to cook. They're a bit more fibrous, so they just need a little bit longer than the actual leaves. I haven't added any salt or anything yet because I want the onions to color a little bit, and if I added salt right now, the moisture would come out and they would kind of steam, and I want them to caramelize because flavor. When you see that the pan starts to dry a little bit like this, you can add a splash of water just to help get those little caramelly bits off the bottom because that is flavor. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the heat and then I'm gonna chop up some garlic and add that. I like to add that after the onions have been cooking for a few minutes because that way you don't burn the garlic. Garlic cooks a lot faster, and burnt garlic has a funny aftertaste, so I really try to be careful and not burn the garlic. It happens, but I try to avoid it. And if you don't have garlic, you don't need it, you can leave it out, or you can add garlic powder. I always have garlic powder right here waiting for me because I use it a lot. I'm gonna add the fennel now so that it can toast a little bit. This is just gonna bring the flavors back to life because this has been dried. As you can tell, I really love my coriander, so I'm almost out. I'm just gonna sprinkle this on. I'm probably gonna use half of what's left. Nope, I'm gonna use all of what's left. Little tip when you use up your spices, if they're a glass jar like this, you can just wash it and get the label off of it. And then when you go to the bulk store and you get spices, you can use that to refill. So this used to be a Simply Organic bottle, and then I filled it up with thyme that I got from the bulk store. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this one for future spices of some kind. I don't do that all the time, but sometimes it's nice. If it's a nice jar like this, I'll keep it. Upcycling. And now I'm just gonna finish with some salt. Just this as a side dish for any meal is so delicious. It's one of my favorite ways to eat greens, if not my favorite. This is so flavorful in and of itself, but now we're gonna top this on top of crispy rice. I don't have one that's the right size, so I'm gonna use this one because it's the smallest pan I have. And I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of coconut oil. Okay, so the first time I made crispy rice, I burned it really badly. So I've got some coconut oil in the pan, and I'm also just gonna lightly spray the perimeter because I don't have a non-stick pan that's the right size, and I do not want it to stick. Ain't nobody got time for that today. I'm just gonna flatten this out. Okay, moment of truth. Ah. It's okay if it breaks. It's okay if it breaks. Oh, okay. Actually, that's not too bad. Scooch her on over. Oh yeah, she's crispy. So crispy. Crispy! Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's almost like rice popcorn. I've got a little bit left. I'm just gonna save that for dinner. I'll probably throw it into some pasta or something, or a burrito. This is leftover tahini sauce. It's so good and easy to make. I'll put the recipe in the description box below, but I usually make up a big batch, then I just have it in the fridge and I can kind of put it on everything. Yep. That fennel is so good, and the tahini with the little bit of spicy sauce I put on top too, like the combination of the two, delish. Well, that was fun. Okay, it's a little bit later now, and I'm gonna go ahead and start making the cookie. I'm so excited. I've been baking a lot more recently because I'm not a natural baker. Ask my mom and my sister. There have been many baking disasters in my past, but I do feel like I'm getting the hang of vegan baking and learning little things here and there. So if I come across anything that I think will be helpful while I'm making this cookie, I'll be sure to share it with you. But the recipe is gonna be down below. It is in the description box, and it is from a blog called the Peanut Butter Plus Chocolate blog. I saw this recipe a couple days ago, and I've been wanting to make it ever since, so now is the moment. Let's go do it. My biggest tip when following recipes is to read the whole recipe all the way through. I know that might seem like a no-brainer, but I know a lot of you don't do that. I don't do it either sometimes, and then halfway through I come across something that I didn't realize, and it all just gets really hectic. So read the whole thing and then begin. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Prepare a baking sheet with parchment paper. I would ordinarily be using a baking sheet, like a reusable silicone baking mat, but mine finally kicked the bucket because I use it constantly, and I'm trying not to shop right now. So this is what I have. This is what I'm going to use for now, but if you have a baking sheet, by all means, go for it. Place the flax and water into a small bowl and stir together, then set aside. Use a hand mixer to cream together the vegan butter and sugars. I took this butter out before I made lunch so that it would soften up a little bit. It just makes it a lot easier to cream. Brown sugar is one of the main flavors in a chocolate chip cookie, and I think it's part of what makes a chocolate chip cookie taste like a chocolate chip cookie and not just like every other cookie. She says to use a hand mixer, but I'm just going to use a wooden spoon because my hand mixer is broken. My oven's ready, but my hand mixer is broken from just way too much love. So I'm just gonna do this by hand, and also it's just nice to show you that you don't have to have any equipment if you don't have it on hand, but it does make things a lot easier and faster. But we'll count this as my workout for the day, yeah? When I'm doing this by hand, I like to use the back of my wooden spoon. My grandma taught me this. Back of the wooden spoon, and then you kind of push it up against the wall of the bowl. And what this does is it helps integrate the sugar into the butter, which because it's granular, is going to kind of just gets into the butter and helps lighten it, and it creates more air, which is what creates that really delicious gooey texture in a cookie. So you want to make sure you get this really light and fluffy, and don't rush this step. This is important. Add in the vanilla and mix until well combined. Add in the flax mix and continue beating until well blended. When you add the flax egg, it's gonna lighten it and it's gonna get even fluffier. And now it really smells good because we've also added vanilla. Add in the flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. Beat until no dry spots remain. Again, I'm just kind of pushing with the back of my spoon. You don't want to go crazy and overmix the flour at this point because you could end up overmixing it and that will develop the glutens a bit too much and make for a really tough cookie. Fold in the chocolate chunks. So this was actually a jar of coconut yogurt from Kulina, and I just cleaned out the jar and now I use it for all of the random little odds and ends that I end up with after a baking project. So there's always like a few chocolate chips that I don't use for some reason, or like chocolate chunks. So in this jar, I have dark chocolate chunks, I have mini chocolate chips from Enjoy Life, and then just regular sized dark chocolate chips. So I'm gonna use that for the cookie today, and I'm actually really excited to get to use it up because I hate when food goes to waste, even chocolate, especially chocolate. I'm doing 1 tablespoon of chocolate chunks, 1 of chocolate chips, and some sprinkles, which you measure with your heart, as my friend Nisha likes to say. Do your best to form a large ball and place in the center of the baking tray. Bake the cookie for 8 minutes. Kitchen timer is your best friend. Remove it from the oven and tap the baking sheet on the counter 3 to 4 times to help deflate the cookie. Return to the oven for 4 to 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. Let the cookie cool for at least 15 minutes before serving. Oh my god. I'm not okay. The actual best thing ever. Make this, make this, make this, make this. I hope you guys enjoyed this cook with me video. If you did, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and comment below and let me know if you like this more informal style of video. I know that right now a lot of us are in my exact position. You're home and you're in your comfies. You're probably cooking more than ever and watching more YouTube than ever. And so I really want to make sure that I have content for you to watch and also that that content is helpful. So please let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comments below. And if you have any questions or if there's a video that you want to see me make in the future, comment all of that in the comments below. I love talking to you guys there. And both of the recipes that you saw in this video are going to be in the description box. So make sure you check that out. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys in a video very soon. Bye.